Good morning, afternoon, and good evening, everyone. This is Combo number 2. I'm Tom Flores.
I'm Travis Baker.
And today we'll be talking about
Pet Story.
Secret Life of Pets. Now, we went in with actually really high hopes and very excited for this film.
I had much higher expectations than anyone I knew because, as I joked just now, when I saw this trailer, I thought, oh, this is Toy Story, but with pets instead, with pet animals. That could be really fun. That could be really cool.
And every single trailer they put out, every single one, just got me more excited for the movie.
I think we just kept seeing the same trailer.
They did, I think, a 3, but I got excited watching every single one because I'm like, this is going to be fun. It's going to be great. The dogs and the cats and the animals were all done perfectly, but they all had their personalities. Some of them did look cute, like Gidget, the little white puffball dog.
Oh, yeah, Gidget.
She was adorable. The bird was funny and it's cute, like because he's a small guy, but he could kick your butt kind of feel. Mm-hmm. And it looked like a really good film. And it was, like you said, it is Toy Story with pets. A great idea because it wasn't going with the approach of like how cats and dogs went, where it's like, oh, what do our dogs do when we're not there? But that movie went espionage in a different way. This actually was saying like, no, what do actual animals do when their owners aren't home? What do they really do? And it hit that note that was the one part they got right, that beginning part, but the beginning part of the movie was honestly just the first trailer.
That first act,
2 minutes, like that first 2-3 minutes of the movie was basically the trailer.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I mean. Like that first.
The first few minutes of the movie was where we saw potential genius. Where we thought, this could be, not just a fun film for kids, but one of those films you could watch. That, like, Pixar does this a lot. In whereas if it's superheroes, if it's rats, if it's fishes, whatever they're covering, they always do that. There's always little things that makes you go, "Oh, that's right. I've seen that before." Like Inside Out. There's the recurring joke about the triple mint gum.
Okay.
Theme song. That gets stuck in your head, and it turns out it's a prank that your head plays on you if you're trying to remember something. That's funny because we can all relate to that. And what better way to do that with pets, with dogs, with cats, with birds,
fish, even hamsters. They did basically every pet that people nowadays can legally own.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, and it all took place in New York, so New York for sure does have different pet laws than the other states, but mostly the same general guidelines.
The joke in the trailer about what's the Louis C.K. character's name again?
Max.
Max,
the main dog. Yeah,
that's right.
Like a little
Max.
Terrier.
When Max's owner leaves, he sits down and goes, "I miss her so much." I actually thought the way that joke was edited a lot better in the trailer than the way it was done in the movie, because he said some extra lines.
Well, it was repeated a lot, that's why, in the movie.
Yeah, like, she comes back, and he's like, she's back! She's back! She's back! Oh, I forgot my keys, or something. Her phone. And then she leaves. In the trailer, I liked it that he just went, "I miss her so much." He says that again.
He's like, I miss her so much.
Yeah, it was longer stretched out. It didn't have that same effect that the trailer did. But that's funny for me because, I've been in that. I've done that so many times where I'm the last one to leave the house, and my dog is there, and to say bye to my dog looks sad.
Mm-hmm. That's what everyone with a dog does. It goes through that.
And I thought there was going to be more of that kind of relatable humor, but there wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And as we kept watching, the movie got dumber to the point where we walked out and we realized that we really hated this movie.
Yeah, it's because it was like,
sorry.
Yes, it's a family movie from the get-go. We understand that. And it's going to be fun. But it doesn't have to be dumb for it to be a fun family film. It was dumbed down to like it was really dumbed down because the only thing that was great was, yes, I will give that the voice acting of every actor matched the character they were voicing. Like Albert Brooks as Tiberius the Hawk that worked. I believed
Yeah.
it. Even Jenny Slate as Gidget.
Yeah.
Lake Bell as the fat cat. Louis C.K. as Matt. Like, everyone fit their animal perfectly. It's just now the dialogue that they had to say and the contents of the story and the plot. It just fell off. It just fell off the roller coaster after the first 3 minutes because when you think about it, it's like, okay, since like Travis said, this is Toy Story but with pets.
Mm-hmm.
With Toy Story, throughout the whole film, it made it where it was like once the owners are gone, what do? They have a life. They have like a scheduled system. They have friends that they talk to and correspond and do their daily routines. They're like people. And then the plot is added to it, but it still keeps the whole like what's going on without the owners.
Mm-hmm.
For this one, it just gave us like, here's 3 minutes of what they do without their owners. Okay, now let's just put the plot in there and forget what they do.
And they go on a wacky adventure.
And that's what it did. It just went wacky adventure, but it forgot what's still a part of their lives.
I watched after this when I came home. I watched Toy Story 2, and that's the one. All three of the Toy Story movies are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I watched this one because I think this is the one I've seen. I had not seen in a while.
Okay.
And Toy Story 2, kind of like this movie, is similar. This is the one where Woody gets kidnapped.
Oh.
Because he's getting put in the museum collection.
A rescue party, yeah.
Yeah, a rescue party.
Yeah.
His fellow toys go out to capture him. But that movie was so much more clever. Like, and this kind of this is similar to my little criticism about Finding Dory, where I didn't like that line between your little low-key fantasy animal movie is crossing over into the real world to the point where all of a sudden humans like us are aware of what's going on. Because then they make a big scene in the Brooklyn Bridge or one of those New York bridges, and there's like animals everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And I'm thinking, what is this? Just Rise of the Planet of the
because
Apes?
the number of animals. It was the number.
There's so many. Yeah.
There was about 100, a little over 100, probably 100 animals there.
Yeah, and a bunch of the other crazy stuff that goes on. Toy Story 2 had more subtlety. You remember the scene with the cones?
Yeah.
Like,
and that's
no one. You get the sense that no one saw these cones moving, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh shit, cones!"
And that's what I mean. Like, even though they had to focus on the plot at that point because I was like a little over halfway of the movie. Yeah. It still kept to the whole what's going on with the toys' lives. How do they correspond with us? And this one, it dropped off because the main antagonist of the film, yes, it was a fun idea. That's a small, cute little white bunny rabbit voiced by a black guy, and the character's name is Snowball. That's funny.
We'll get to him.
That's a Full Metal Jacket reference right there. But it's like, but the plot is like, yes, we understand. Like, they hate the army. It's basically an army that bunny leads. Mm-hmm. Hates humans and wants to kill them all because they were basically pets that were just discarded. And I understand that hurts. I understand that, but it's like they wanted full-scale Armageddon war, and it's like, okay, how does that work out? It's basically just it turned into them just being ruffians, not actual revolutionary soldiers, and it lost it right there.
It didn't have the. To add to that, you're talking about pets being discarded.
Yeah, I didn't feel for them though.
And and. And I'm going to go back to Toy Story 2 just because it's so fresh in my memory, and there's similarities now that I'm realizing.
Oh, Pete.
What?
The miner in Toy Story 2. Is that what you're going to talk about? Because he was discarded.
Oh, Stinky the prospector. Yeah. Well, he never got bought.
Oh no. Well, Jesse too. Sorry,
Jesse. That was the one that was discarded. Mm-hmm. Oh, there was emotional weight. She had a fucking song to go with that.
Yeah. But this one,
and you're like, oh shit, yeah. Emily, why did you leave her?
And that made it personal. Mm-hmm. This one though, I didn't feel anything for those who got discarded. Even when the rabbit told his story, because like I used to be this bunny for a musician, mm-hmm. and pulling out the hat trick, and I was like, and they had this thing in the routine. And it's like, okay, that's cool. And then when the bunny out of the hat trick just kind of went out of style, he just threw me away. And I'm like, I'm supposed to feel something right now. I don't feel anything.
That felt very rushed.
But because we didn't feel it. Like I understand it makes sense time wise because now with Magic Acts it's more about performance. It's not about the trick. It's more about like setting the stage and then doing it. There's a lot more stuff going on with magic right now than just the bunny out of the hat.
It felt more like, all right, we need to give him a motivation. We need to give him personal motivation. And once they wrote it down, they said check, but they didn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
I'll give it the example when I really noticed there wasn't a whole lot of emotional weight to this movie when there should have been. The most blatant example was Doug, the big.
That was the
the big furry dog. Halfway through the movie,
it's like the beginning of the third act, basically. Yeah, because after that's the chase.
End of second half, beginning of third act. Yeah, that point. And this was also after the really weird sequence.
And just to let you folks know, Doug is that big brown dog that's introduced in the trailer that Max feels threatened by because his spoiled existence is shattered. That's who Doug is for our viewers.
And that should have been interesting because I know that dogs get very territorial,
especially if they're the one dog with the one. Yeah.
You don't want to invite a visiting dog into a house that's occupied by another dog. Then it's like, hey, what are you doing here? This is my place. And for a while, it seemed to be leading in that direction, but then it just felt kind of dropped.
A lot of stuff got dropped.
But this one, this is back to the example with Doug. Finally reveals his backstory. He says, I used to have a home. I had this owner. And they went through the effort of showing a bunch of flashbacks of him with his owner, who was this old guy.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, I actually thought this was going to happen because he said, he liked to take a lot of naps, and it showed this
time
montage.
Lapse of them. Yeah. That would have been.
He was, and it just showed little Doug sleeping on his owner's lap, and I thought he was going to say, well, then one day he didn't wake up. But he didn't, so he just said, what? He chased a car?
He chased a butterfly. He got out of the house, chased a butterfly. He got out of the backyard, chased a butterfly, and when he caught up to the butterfly, he turned around and was like, oh crap, how do I get back?
Didn't know how to get back. So then they go to the house.
Mm-hmm. Max and Doug, yeah.
Max and Doug, they go to the house where Doug used to live at. And they run into this cat, and this is an example of tell not show, which is what they did, which is not a good thing. Usually, especially in movies, you want to show if you can show instead of tell, in a subtle way that doesn't feel ham-fisted, do it. And they really could have done it here, but they didn't. They just go to the house, they run into this cat. And they're like, hey, get out of here. This is where I live. Leave me alone. Oh, do you know where the old man went? Old man? Oh, yeah, he died. And that was it. That was the end of that. Other than that, you see, this family comes home. Doug gets angry at the family. He's, barking at the family. What are you doing here? What are you... The family's all scared because this is a wild dog barking at them. Big wild dog. Yeah. Big wild dog, too. And Max is like, dude, we gotta get out of here. And then this felt so contrived because Max is like, or Doug is like, you, this is all your fault, Max. This. And I'm thinking, where the fuck did this bullshit come from? And then just when you think it might elaborate on that,
the pound
comes, and then we have to get back to the plot. A better way that could have been done with the whole backstory on the previous owner that could have gone somewhere maybe is... First of all, I think that reveal should have been done earlier in the movie. That way you could have that sitting for a bit, because...
Oh, instead of close to the end. Yeah.
Instead of close to the end. Yeah. You could have done that earlier. Also, when they do go to the house, maybe they run into that cat and the cat doesn't know what he's talking. Instead of the cat just happening to know, oh, he died.
Oh, I get what you mean.
The cat's like, I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. Get out.
Or even better, that little montage of them napping together, died right in the chair. Because if you think about it, it's a family film, but it's PG. Yeah. And we've seen with other family films, since we've talked about Pixar and DreamWorks and the PG film, they still show on-screen death.
Yeah, you can...
And in worse ways than just dying in your sleep. And some really, hey, Fox and the Hound, it was pretty brutal. It wasn't a death, but it was some brutal stuff. So with this one, just a man passed away in his sleep. That would have been great.
Yeah.
That would have been right to the heart.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense. And then because the old man has, say, outlived most of his friends, maybe not his family, but maybe he just lives away from his family. You know, sometimes old men, not out of anger, but just like a little seclusion after a certain point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And since his neighbors don't know what else to do, it's like we just give him to the city, the pound. Or the dog runs out on his own. Instead, the dog's like, I just ran out of the house and I forgot where to go. And I'm like,
yeah.
What? And you're all like, and he wouldn't look for me. My owner wouldn't look for me. Dude, you ran like so far, and he's old. What are you expecting to be on your like hightailing on your ass?
Also, you could have done something expanding on your alternate rewrite. You could have expanded on the characterization you could extend it on that to the characterization of not only Doug but Max in order for it to thematically work.
Mm-hmm.
Which is something this movie didn't
No.
do. It didn't really have any themes. And what I mean by that, you ever heard the saying, a dog may be part of your life, but to the dog, you are his entire life. You are his life. So maybe Max doesn't like Doug in the house because he's feeling protective of his owner.
Oh, okay.
And so Max comes off as kind of stubborn, but it's kind of for selfless reasons. Whereas Doug is more just happy to be there, and he's thinking more of himself. Why? Because it was the exact opposite for him. His owner didn't stay all the way through his life. His owner was not his whole life. So now he's got another one.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I just wrote a better movie than what we just saw, because this one was just nothing.
Yeah, like, it had good ideas. It's just an overall, the ice cream sundae wasn't a good ice cream sundae.
No.
Just the couple scoops of ice cream. Because like also too like I like the fact that they hit on what's going on like they made a social commentary, and I actually saw this a couple days ago driving to work. Owners who are walking their dogs, they're on their phone more paying attention to their phone than their dog, and that's true. That is true. That's why Doug and Max go missing, because the dog walker's too busy looking at the girl, but his phone. A lot of people are just yanking their dog on their phone or walking with their dog on their phone. That's true. They didn't go much with that because Max's owner wasn't like that. Even though she forgot her phone, she made a big deal coming back. She's like, oh, I forgot my phone. She wasn't like that. And it's like that was just in the background. It's like, well, actually make that a part of the situation. Because for a modern day, pet story, make that not the background, but part of the storyline, part of the situation. Not the storyline, but the situation. Part of the characters. Like what's their take on that?
Mm-hmm.
Not that they maybe they can use technology, because we saw the little bird, Sweet Pea, being able to control the TV. It's not that they use the technology. What's their feeling on that? Just think about because that can almost relate to like a toddler dealing with parents who are always on their phone. How does the kid feel? How does the pet feel? That would have hit. This movie was just more of like they had a bunch of ideas for scenes, and then they just put it together. But when you really look at it,
and nothing went anywhere. Because
honestly, I didn't feel like there was a love story between Gidget and Max. Yeah. But yeah, Gidget was cute and adorable. It was funny how the way she would express her love for Max. But in the end, I didn't feel anything for it.
You know why? Because there was nothing to really hint that Max knew about Gidget's feelings for him to reciprocate that in the end, which he does. Even
that, but even that he didn't, because he didn't realize it, and then him really realize wow, this girl actually cares about me. I maybe need to pay more attention to her. That realization didn't even get any feeling.
No.
Like it was just a lot of not feeling, and then it was just really a dumbed movie. Even there was a short. There was an Illumination short before the movie.
Yeah.
And that was dumb.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of the dumbest shorts I have ever watched. And I personally love the Minions. And this one was really just that honestly set the tone for the movie.
This movie was, in case you didn't know, produced by Universal's Illumination Entertainment.
That gave us Despicable Me, 1, 2, Minions, the Lorax, and Hop. And I get...
What? They did the Lorax and Hop? All I know is that they did Despicable Me.
Because that's all they
Why?
did in the movie, yeah. Because there was only Despicable Me references.
Yeah.
Which, like, I get that because, yes, for example, DreamWorks and Pixar have done that. But not this way. Like, it's so much subtle. This one was just in your face. Minions.
Hey, look.
Happy from is it Will.i.am? Or whoever?
No, Pharrell Williams.
Pharrell Williams.
The other
It was just so much Despicable Me, and it's like, hey guys, move on from Despicable Me.
It's like this is Illumination saying, this is all we got.
Yeah.
This is all we got.
We're gonna put this in a new movie.
The reason why Disney doesn't have this problem, and even DreamWorks to some extent, it's because they've made other good movies, and they've taken their time to make good stuff. And the whole, Illumination's doing the animated short thing. Why? Because Pixar does it. But Pixar shorts are fun to watch. The charm of Pixar shorts is that they're their own little thing. And they're really just there to show...
Some are actually shorts of some of the big movies. Some of them are.
Some of them. Most of the time, they're not.
And
the ones you see in the beginning of the movie, most of the time, they're not. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it's really there for Pixar to say, hey, look how great this looks. Look how advanced our...
technology's coming.
Our technology's coming.
Yeah.
Illumination doesn't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, because honestly,
or it doesn't seem like they do.
Watching that short before Secret Life of Pets made me not want to watch those like 5 or 6 shorts they've put out with the Despicable Me 1 and 2 DVDs. Because to me, I'm like, so this is them. Like, if this is what this short is, what are the other 6?
That's why that's why I never saw the Minions movie. I've seen the first 2 Despicable Me's, and I think the first Despicable Me's kind of overrated. It's not. I don't think it's bad. I think it's all right. I think it's decent. It's good. Despicable Me 2 was.
I like that one. But I can understand what you mean.
It didn't work for me because Gru, the main character, didn't really have that much of. Didn't have as important of an arc. Or didn't have as deep of an arc as he did in the first one.
Well, because the arc already happened, that's it.
And then Minions was just... I didn't see Minions because I thought...
It's a backstory. That's all it is.
I was like, okay, is there any good characterization for this movie? No, because you can't fucking do that with the Minions. So I'm not going to watch the Minions movie. Fuck you, sellout Illumination.
Yeah, I wouldn't take any kids to this movie. No, because I feel like it would dumb them down in some degree. Like you know how there's like television that like you feel dumb watching. Like it's not it's not like a guilty pleasure show or something you watch after work and you're just tired and you want to watch something. It's like when you watch it, you literally feel like you're being dumbed down. I literally felt like this would dumb down kids. Like I get it, it's cute, it's adorable. The characterizations of the animal and the little ticks are awesome. Like when Gidget's tail's wagging and she's like, calm down. It's like, because like they say a tail, because the tail is like a completely different person. They've always made that joke for all dogs. The tail's like it's a mind of its own. It works. That joke works all the time.
I had a few laughs in this movie,
it.
But it was like in the service of nothing.
And because also too, the script didn't get us to feel for any of these characters. I felt nothing for them. I didn't feel any. I wasn't rooting for anyone. I wasn't like going like, yes, that happened. Even like the hamster that was stuck in the ventilation shaft trying to get back to his owner. They show he gets back to his owner in the end, but it's like, who cares?
Kevin Hart was annoying.
That got a little too much.
Kevin,
the bunny honestly came to the point where the bunny was just like, I don't care.
I'm obnoxious. I'm crazy.
No, I don't care if you're your enemy or my friend. Let's just do something. If I kind of like you personally, we're just going to go do something. It's like, but you have a plan.
The bunny didn't work for me.
I don't know how that bunny honestly led an army.
No, I don't know how.
His friend Ricky, the duck that I would actually really more enjoy seeing than the bunny, Ricky seemed like more of a leader, and he was dead. And yet you never see Ricky, and also too, think about this.
I want to see a spinoff about Ricky.
Actually, I read this little snippet for the review for this movie, and it makes sense. The bunny is supposed to be a revolutionary leader, right? He's a revolutionary.
Okay.
He's a rebel.
Yeah.
Yet he's acting like a gangster.
Because it's a black guy doing the voice.
But that's the thing. The character. That's the thing. Like, I get it's funny. Like Kevin Hart I enjoy seeing on. I enjoy. He does make me laugh, but his character is a revolutionary, not an organized criminal.
Mm-hmm.
A revolutionary acts way different. We've seen that 100 times.
Yeah.
Organized criminal acts a different way. Hell, even in organized crime, the Godfather acted way more like a leader. But
Yeah.
a revolutionary leader acts a very specific way because a revolutionary leader is trying to break down a government.
He didn't seem like a real villain.
No.
Like in
I wasn't
some moments,
threatened.
it's like they were painting him to be a villain, but
I
it
was
didn't work for
more
me.
scared of his lackeys, like the pit bull with the mask on.
Oh,
Which,
yeah.
first of all, that fell to the wayside because he got nothing. It's like if you broke out to get your tank, because that's what the pit bull was. He crashed the van to get his tank back. You never see the tank for the rest of the movie.
That's right.
The tank's a big part of your basically that pit bull was a sergeant at arms.
Yeah.
Your sergeant at arms is a key person.
Mm-hmm.
Your big ass python is a key thing. Your tattooed pig, they had nothing to do. And honestly, the movie was more of just a lot of references and small social commentary rolled into something. It's literally something.
Rolled into
Just
a hodgepodge.
yeah, because there was basically an LSD trip that Doug and Max go through.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the sausage sequence.
There's-
Yes.
the dogs break into a sausage factory for food, which okay, that makes sense. Breaking into food, but all of a sudden they're eating all this food, and then all of a sudden their eyes just widen. And they're in freaking La La Land with dancing sausages, while the sausages are dancing and singing and going into their mouths. But it's like, but how did that happen?
It's like a fucking Grease song that's playing too.
The dogs didn't get hit with some kind of chemical gas to make them hallucinate.
Yeah.
I would have believed that. No, they just turn their heads and go like, and they're in La La Land. And it's like, but that went nowhere.
It went absolutely nowhere.
It's like it just happened.
And
it just happened for no reason.
And that's when I realized that this movie went off the rails. That's when I fully realized that I did not like this movie.
I was honestly more because the movie divided into two storylines: the rescue party and Doug and Max. I was more focused on Doug and Max. I was more focused on the rescue party the whole time.
I thought with the whole the sausage factory thing, I thought it was gonna go in like a really
dark,
messed up direction.
Because the meat, I
thought,
food.
okay, you're in a meat processing factory. I mean, you ever heard the saying, you don't want to know how the sausage gets made, and we were seeing some sausage getting made technically, so I thought they were going to go to, accidentally find a room, and there's a bunch of caged pigs, and they're either, depressed because they've accepted their fate, or they say, run away, or let us out. I thought it was going to go in a really horrific direction.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been awesome. I think it would have been awesome. I don't think it would have helped the movie.
No, but it's just been great. But
I don't think I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that this movie was in the end super dumb if they had a moment like that.
No.
Because it made me think, okay, they tried something. They tried something challenging to challenge.
Because that's
to get people thinking.
I think, and that's what I think. Because since you said challenging, well, thinking, every computer animated film, from Shrek to every Pixar to even just side stuff that happened, they always have this one main theme or the moral of the story.
That's what they should have.
They didn't.
Yes.
For example, Shrek was. It doesn't matter how the person looks; it's the personality. It doesn't matter the looks; it's the personality. Love. Love goes beyond looks.
Yes,
that was great. That was Finding Nemo was about a dad getting over his parental paranoia. Toy Story was about just kids growing up and the toys, it's growing up. This one, we had to reach for one. We had to literally just be I literally just pulled out of my ass, you just don't get so used to your everyday life and be pampered and spoiled get used to change.
Don't be open to new
change.
people?
Yeah, change? But it's that's not, no.
Like, I can't say that's what this movie was about. I can
That's
say
the
that
thing.
that this movie was probably supposed to be
I had to
about.
force that and pull that out of my ass because honestly, this had no underlining meaning or moral or lesson. It was just a hodgepodge of shit that happened.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's like I would not recommend this for parents to take their kids
No.
because it's
Go
not.
see Finding Dory again.
Just go anything, because it felt like this was a movie. I was like,
Even
hey,
Ghostbusters.
I said for family and kids.
Hey, it's PG-13.
Let's not go down that. Let's not go down the rabbit hole. Basically, what we have been just ranting on. It's not worth any admission price ticket.
No.
It's really a dumb film. You get nothing out of it. The voice acting, sure, that was good.
Most of it, yeah.
Most of it. Honestly, I did like Louis C.K. bringing in his own stand-up routine.
Louis C.K. as a voice actor was really great. I could not tell it was him.
Oh, and then Dana Carvey being Pops, the old dog. That was great to hear Dana Carvey for after a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but after that, it was just like, for a 90-minute film, I'm like, is it over yet?
Yeah.
And I've sit through like 3-hour films, and I'm like, not even looking at my watch. This one, I'm like, this has got to be over.
It's like 45 minutes in, and I was checking, even though it didn't feel like that much time had passed.
It felt like a long time had passed.
Yeah.
I felt like I was sitting on a 3-hour movie.
I was looking, I started checking my watch during that film. Don't let the 76% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes fool you.
It's 74 now.
Is it 74?
Yeah.
Oh, there goes that certified rating. Because
It's just not worth seeing.
What I've seen, what I've seen from reviewers, it seems like the excuse is, it's a kids movie.
Oh.
Your kids will love it.
Or one
because fuck you and your kids.
Or one movie said
Your
it's
kids are stupid dumbasses.
It's an undemanding, family-friendly film. It's like a nice way. That's like a literate way of saying it's a very dumbed down, family-friendly film.
It's a nice way of saying it's a dumb kids movie.
It's basically the way of saying when parents just turn on the TV to distract their kids for an hour.
Yeah,
that's what that is.
This is what this kind of movie is.
And it's like no.
And if you don't give a shit about what your kids watch, yeah, show them this movie. But if you actually do give a crap about your kids' exposure to media,
don't see this movie.
And quality media, send them to Finding Dory.
Yeah.
Or just buy as many Pixar DVDs as you can to cure your kids after seeing this and anything worse than this.
Yeah. So, well, we're here from combo number 2. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff better out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Take your family to see that. This isn't a movie to waste your time on. Just enjoy the trailers. Just keep rewatching the trailers, and that's all you need to do.
Yeah.
So, that's honestly not a good film.
Maybe Sing will be better for Illumination.
I hope
Although
so.
I am not excited for
Yeah.
Sing. I don't care. I don't even know if I will even want to see it this year when it comes out.
So, from us from combo number 2, there's a lot of stuff out there that's better. I'm Tom Flores.
I'm Travis Baker.
Thank you for joining us on this episode. We'll catch you on the next time. Bye.
Bye.